Capricorn, listen carefully, because this message didn't find you by accident. You didn't just stumble here out of curiosity. Your spirit was guided here. Something in you has been restless lately, hasn't it? You've been feeling like you're standing at the edge of something big, but you can't quite see it yet. You've been fighting battles in silence, holding tears in your chest, pretending everything's fine while your soul screams for change. But hear me, this isn't chaos. This is divine alignment. You are being prepared for a billionaire destiny. If these words are piercing your spirit, don't scroll. Like this video right now, subscribe and type, "I receive it," in the comments, because by doing that, you're not just engaging with a channel, you're sealing your energy into agreement with what the universe is already forming for you. For too long, you've been made to feel like your hard work goes unnoticed. You give and give, yet people take and take. You've questioned why your story seems so heavy, why the weight never lifts. But Capricorn, what if I told you your pain was never punishment? It was positioning. Every delay, every betrayal, every night you cried yourself to sleep, all of it was sculpting the version of you that wealth could trust. Because not everyone can handle abundance. Only those who have survived storms can respect sunshine. Think about the diamond. It begins as dull black carbon. It endures unbearable pressure, crushing weight and heat that would destroy anything weaker. But through that pressure, it becomes the hardest and most valuable gem on earth. That's you, Capricorn. You are the diamond being formed in darkness. And even though you can't see the shine yet, heaven already can. That's why things around you are breaking. That's why some people are walking away. They can't breathe where you're going. Do you remember Oprah Winfrey's story? Born into poverty, abused as a child, fired from her first television job, they told her she wasn't good enough for TV. But her spirit didn't give up. She used every scar as strength. When she spoke, people felt truth. And today she stands as one of the richest and most respected women alive. Capricorn, your story may be filled with wounds, but those wounds are your weapons. The same rejection that humiliated you is the doorway to your rise. I can feel it. Some of you watching this have been losing things fast. Money, friends, even peace. Everything seems to be slipping through your fingers. You've said to yourself, "Why now? I was just getting better." But listen, the universe removes comfort before releasing crowns. When Joseph was thrown into the pit, it wasn't because he was forgotten. It was because his gift was too great to remain among people who couldn't see it. He was sold, imprisoned, abandoned. And then overnight, elevated to rule a nation. His pain was not proof of failure, it was the prophecy of his rise. And that's what's happening to you. The silence in your life isn't absence, it's rearrangement. God, the universe, your ancestors, whatever you believe in, are shifting pieces around you. Every closed door is protection. Every unanswered call is redirection. Every lonely night is a whisper, "You're almost there." But let me tell you something strange. When a Capricorn is about to rise, life starts feeling unreal. You wake up at 3 a.m. for no reason. You feel pulled to isolate. You see repeating numbers like 11, 11 or 777. Old wounds resurface out of nowhere. You start dreaming of water, money, or even walking through unfamiliar houses. These aren't coincidences. They're energetic upgrades. Your frequency is being tuned to abundance. Your spirit is being aligned with a version of yourself that's already wealthy, powerful, and at peace. Think of Thomas Edison. He failed 1,000 times before the world saw light. But he didn't stop because failure to him wasn't the opposite of success. It was the process of it. That's the Capricorn secret. You don't crumble, you calculate, you don't quit, you climb. Every stumble only teaches you a better route to the top. That's why people don't understand you. Your silence confuses them. Your focus intimidates them. Your resilience irritates them. They sense something divine about you, but can't explain it. Let's be honest, you've always felt like the odd one out, haven't you? Even among friends, you've carried a quiet sense of distance. You felt older than your age, wiser than your peers. That's because your soul isn't ordinary. You were sent to break generational patterns, to change financial destinies, to lead quietly where others chase fame. That's why your journey has been so heavy. The universe only tests those who are about to transform reality. Do you know what's funny? When you're closest to breakthrough, everything starts looking like breakdown. You get misunderstood more often. Your patience runs thin. People provoke you for no reason. But these are signs that the old timeline is collapsing. The vibration that once held you in place can't contain you anymore. It's why you suddenly feel restless in places you used to love. It's why you crave solitude instead of crowds. Your energy is expanding beyond familiarity. And there's something else. Have you noticed money showing up unexpectedly? Maybe a refund, a random gift, or someone paying a debt you'd forgotten about. Maybe a job offer that feels aligned, or a project suddenly catching attention. That's not luck. That's the universe confirming that your frequency is shifting toward abundance. When you heal your energy, money becomes magnetized to you. You stop chasing, it starts arriving. Let's talk about another real-life example, Steve Jobs, fired from his own company, rejected, ridiculed, humiliated. But instead of quitting, he went deeper into his vision. Years later, he returned to Apple and transformed it into one of the most valuable companies on Earth. That's Capricorn energy, quiet, disciplined, unstoppable. When others doubt you, you work in silence until your results roar louder than their opinions. You're probably noticing that your circle is getting smaller. The people you once called friends don't understand you anymore. Conversations feel shallow. You've outgrown gossip, drama, and distractions. That's because elevation requires isolation. The universe removes noise before revealing destiny. Even Job in the Bible lost everything, not because he did wrong, but because he was chosen to demonstrate faith that cannot be shaken. His wealth was restored double because he endured the test. And maybe right now you're in that test. Maybe everything around you feels unstable, your job, your health, your faith in people. But I promise you, the more uncomfortable it gets, the closer you are to your calling. You are not being buried, you are being planted. Seeds look like they're dying in the soil, but soon they break through and bloom. That's the mystery of every Capricorn rise. It looks like endings, but it's actually beginnings in disguise. Even when you feel unseen, forces are working in your favor. Conversations are happening about you in rooms you haven't entered yet. People are thinking of you, recommending your name, planning opportunities you don't even know exist. That's the vibration of divine timing. Capricorn, you've been underestimated for so long that people forgot you're not competing, you're building an empire. I know you've been tired lately, emotionally drained. You've been pretending to be fine while secretly asking yourself, is this all worth it? And I need you to know it is, because what's coming isn't small. The universe doesn't stretch you for a blessing that fits in your pocket. You're being prepared for wealth that changes bloodlines, for influence that opens gates, for a name that becomes legacy. Let's talk about another real story, J.K. Rowling. She was a single mother on welfare living in near poverty. She was rejected by publishers again and again, but she didn't stop. She kept writing in cafes, pushing through depression, believing in something no one else saw. And today, Harry Potter is a global phenomenon, and she's a billionaire author. Her story isn't luck, it's the pattern of Capricorn destiny, failure, faith, fortune. Do you see the pattern now? Every great rise begins in darkness. Before light comes pressure. Before crowns come crosses. You've been trained by pain so you can handle power without losing your soul. Because true wealth isn't money, it's mastery. When you can control your emotions, stay calm in storms, and choose purpose over pride, you've already unlocked a level most people never reach. Now the universe is aligning opportunities that will feel almost unreal. You'll meet people who instantly feel familiar. You'll find yourself in conversations that spark new ideas. You'll get chances that make you nervous. That's how you'll know they're right. Divine opportunities rarely come wrapped in comfort. They come disguised as challenges, requiring faith to see the reward. Do you know how Solomon became one of the wealthiest kings in history? He didn't ask for money, he asked for wisdom. And because he valued purpose over possession, abundance chased him. That's the secret the universe is trying to teach you now. Stop chasing money and start embodying value. When you become valuable, money can't stay away from you. You'll start noticing small confirmations soon, people praising your ideas, random breakthroughs, sudden peace replacing anxiety. These are not coincidences. They are the first waves of the ocean you've been praying for. Your energy has matured to the point where the universe now trusts you with overflow. And maybe you'll think, but I don't see it yet. That's because it always happens spiritually before it happens physically. The invisible realm rearranges first. Doors open where logic says they shouldn't. Miracles begin quietly before they roar publicly. Your job is to stay consistent in your effort, your gratitude, your faith. Capricorn, this isn't about manifesting fantasy. It's about alignment. It's about finally realizing you were never unlucky, you were being refined. The rejection you faced was divine protection. The people who left weren't meant to join your table. They were meant to teach you who deserves a seat. Every pain had purpose. Every delay had direction. You are stepping into a frequency of power that many only dream of. When you speak now, people will listen differently. When you move, doors will open without knocking. The same energy that once rejected you will begin to request you. The world is about to recognize the strength you've carried quietly for years. There's a reason billionaires move differently. They understand energy, not just economics. They know wealth isn't about numbers, it's about vibration. And you, Capricorn, are now vibrating at the frequency of abundance. You're thinking clearer, moving wiser, and protecting your peace more fiercely. That's how the universe knows you're ready. Some of you watching this have been seeing signs everywhere: feathers, butterflies, repeated numbers, even sudden chills during moments of reflection. These are confirmations. The unseen realm is whispering, keep going, you're closer than you think. The delay was protection, the confusion was construction. And now your energy is magnetic. Opportunities that were once distant are finding you. Old blockages are breaking. And soon, something you've wanted for years, maybe a business breakthrough, a contract, or a divine partnership, will appear so easily you'll know it was never coincidence. The truth is, Capricorn, your entire life has been preparing you for this exact moment. Every betrayal built your boundaries. Every failure refined your focus. Every heartbreak strengthened your heart. You are no longer chasing dreams, you are embodying destiny. Now breathe, feel it. The heaviness is lifting, the fear is fading. You are rising not slowly, not someday, but now. And when your breakthrough arrives, it won't come quietly. It will come like thunder, shaking everything that once doubted you. Because this time, the universe isn't just blessing you with wealth, it's revealing who you've always been underneath the struggle, chosen, unbreakable, and destined for more. So if your soul feels this truth, don't just listen, engage. Like this message, subscribe and declare in the comments, I'm ready for my billionaire season. Because your agreement sends a signal into the universe that says, Capricorn has awakened. And once you awaken, nothing can ever return to the way it was. Your story is about to shift from survival to success, from struggle to sovereignty, from quiet prayers to loud miracles. Everything you lost will return multiplied. Every tear will turn into testimony. And the world will soon say, they saw you fall, but they never expected you to rise like this. You've been feeling it lately, haven't you, Capricorn? That strange stillness in your life that doesn't make sense. The things that once excited you now feel heavy. People who once laughed with you suddenly feel distant. And deep inside, there's a voice whispering, something is about to change. It's not your imagination. It's a sign. The universe is shifting around you because your destiny is catching up to you. What's coming isn't small, it's the kind of transformation that rewrites entire lifetimes. Before we go further, pause for a second and breathe. If you can feel your soul stirring as you hear these words, it's because they're meant for you. Like this message right now, subscribe to this channel and type "I'm ready" in the comments. Because this is not entertainment, this is alignment. When you agree energetically, doors that were closed begin to open. You've always known you were different, even as a child. Your thoughts were older, your feelings deeper. You watched others chase attention while you stayed focused on purpose. You've always been the one who endures, who holds everything together while others fall apart. But lately, you've been wondering, why does it feel like the more I try, the harder it gets? Let me tell you a secret, Capricorn. Every soul chosen for wealth and greatness must first walk through fire. The pressure isn't punishment, it's preparation. The universe is not testing you to see if you'll break. It's revealing how unbreakable you are. Look at the life of Steve Jobs. He built Apple from nothing, only to be fired from the company he created. Most would have disappeared into bitterness, but he didn't. He went silent, learned, and reinvented himself. When he came back, he turned Apple into a global empire. That is the Capricorn spirit, falling 7 times, standing 8. You don't seek sympathy, you seek evolution. Every loss in your life has been a coded invitation to rebuild stronger. When the world shut you out, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. And that's exactly what's happening to you now. You may feel forgotten, but you are being refined. The isolation, the long nights, the silence, they are sacred. The universe is recalibrating your path so that nothing ordinary can interfere. The people leaving your life are not betraying you, they are fulfilling prophecy. You've outgrown their vibration. They can't breathe in the altitude where you're going. You are being trained to be alone because the next season of your life will require independence of spirit. Even in the Bible, Job endured unimaginable loss, his wealth, his health, his family gone, yet in his stillness he refused to curse the divine, and when his faith was proven unshakable, everything returned to him double. Capricorn, your life mirrors this. You've been stripped not to suffer, but to be reset. The universe removes everything unstable so that only what's permanent can remain. Have you noticed how certain things no longer excite you? The parties, the meaningless conversations, the temporary wins, they all feel dull now. It's because your soul has matured. The old energy cannot feed your spirit anymore. You crave depth. You crave purpose. You crave peace. And it's that craving that's summoning your next breakthrough. When you start desiring purpose more than applause, abundance begins to chase you. But here, where most people fail, they rush the process. They mistake quiet seasons for stagnation. Yet the silence before manifestation is sacred. The universe doesn't announce miracles in noise, it births them in stillness. Do you remember when the caterpillar goes into a cocoon? From the outside it looks dead, but inside, transformation is violent, raw, and unseen. The caterpillar dissolves into formlessness before wings are formed. That's where you are right now, dissolving into greatness. There's something powerful about Capricorns that few understand. You are ruled by time, Saturn itself, the planet of discipline, karma, and patience. It means your blessings don't come fast, but when they do, they last. While others build castles on sand, you build kingdoms on rock. Your wealth doesn't vanish because it's rooted in wisdom. You don't rush because your soul already knows what's truly yours will wait for you. And right now, the universe is about to test that patience one last time. You'll face situations designed to trigger your old self, conflict, temptation, people resurfacing with fake apologies. Don't fall for it. These are echoes of your past, trying to see if you've truly evolved. The moment you choose peace over reaction, everything shifts. The test isn't about what happens to you, but how you respond. I know you're tired. You've been working harder than ever, yet results seem small. You've watched others succeed faster with less effort. But listen, fast success fades. Divine success compounds. The reason your journey takes longer is because your foundation is eternal. You're not just building wealth, you're building legacy. Generations you'll never meet will live in comfort because of what you're enduring now. Do you know J.K. Rowling's story? She wrote Harry Potter while broke, divorced, and raising a child alone. 12 publishers rejected her. 12 times she was told she wasn't good enough. But she kept writing through her tears. When the 13th publisher finally said yes, her entire life changed. Within years, she became one of the richest authors in history. She didn't just write a story, she rewrote her destiny. That's what Capricorn energy does. It turns wounds into wisdom and pain into purpose. Maybe your own dreams feel impossible right now. Maybe you've failed so many times you've stopped expecting miracles. But what if I told you that your failures are proof that destiny still believes in you? The universe doesn't test those it has forgotten. Every delay is evidence that your time is being perfected. Remember, when gold is refined, it's melted not to destroy it, but to purify it. Every time you were broken, something false burned away. Your path may look lonely, but it's sacred ground. When everyone else was distracted by noise, you stayed focused. When others gave up, you kept pushing. That consistency, that quiet endurance, is why the universe is about to reward you publicly. You've been invisible long enough. Soon, your results will speak so loudly that silence will no longer be possible. But here's the twist. Before elevation comes exposure. The universe will start revealing who's truly for you and who's been secretly praying against you. You'll see truths that may hurt, but they will set you free. Don't react in anger. Observe in wisdom. Because after that exposure, favor begins to pour in fast. You'll notice opportunities aligning like magnets, ideas clicking in your mind, and resources appearing when you least expect them. Some of you will get a call that changes everything. A collaboration, an offer, a breakthrough that once seemed impossible. It won't make sense logically because it's not logic, it's divine alignment. You'll realize the people who left were necessary, they cleared the space for better ones. The relationships that ended were protection, not loss. The closed doors were rerouting you towards something greater. Do you remember when Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream and became ruler overnight? One moment he was in prison, the next he was in power. That's how fast divine timing moves when it's finally your turn. Capricorn, your turn is approaching. Every delay is about to make sense. Every rejection is about to look like mercy. But let's go deeper. The energy you're stepping into now is different. You're not chasing anymore, you're attracting, you're not begging, you're commanding. You've reached the frequency where your thoughts are magnetic. So be careful what you think about, what you speak over yourself. The universe is listening closely. Words are seeds, and in this season they'll bloom fast. Speak abundance even when your bank account disagrees. Speak peace even when chaos surrounds you. Speak success even when results haven't arrived. Something mysterious happens when Capricorns stop fighting and start flowing. You begin to move with divine rhythm. Suddenly, people start noticing your energy. You become a magnet for collaboration, recognition, and wealth, not because you forced it, but because you finally aligned with who you've always been. And let me tell you something you may not realize yet. Your aura is changing. You've been glowing differently lately. People stare longer. Strangers feel drawn to your energy. It's because your vibration has risen. You've shed layers of doubt, fear, and shame. You've done the inner work, and now the outer world is about to mirror it. Even nature recognizes your shift. That's why you've been seeing signs, birds appearing out of nowhere, hearing certain songs repeatedly, feeling chills during moments of reflection. These are not coincidences. The spiritual realm is confirming that your manifestation is near. When energy shifts this strongly, reality bends to accommodate it. Look at Elon Musk. The man risked everything, slept on the factory floor, faced bankruptcy. People called him crazy, but he kept going. Today his name is synonymous with innovation and wealth. That's the Capricorn archetype, disciplined vision under pressure. You may not realize it, but that same fire burns within you. The same courage that built empires exists in your bones. You've been trained for this moment since birth. Every hardship was rehearsal. Every heartbreak was strengthening. Every disappointment was sharpening your intuition. You've learned to read energy, to sense deceit, to walk alone when needed. That's why you're dangerous now, not because you seek revenge, but because you no longer need validation. But something even greater is coming. The energy around you is thick with potential. You're going to notice strange alignments, seeing names, dates, or numbers connected to your dreams. You'll meet people who mention ideas that match your secret visions. That's not random. That's the universe forming your billionaire blueprint. Here's the truth most people don't tell you. Abundance begins internally. It's a mindset before it's money. You can't attract what you don't believe you deserve. And you, Capricorn, have finally reached the point where your self-worth matches your calling. You've learned to say no. You've learned to rest. You've learned to choose yourself. That's the signal the universe was waiting for. From now on, things will accelerate. You'll see manifestations appear faster than ever before. But stay grounded. Don't get lost in excitement. Remember, the same patience that got you here will protect you as you rise. Not everyone will clap. Not everyone will understand. But their confusion is proof that your vibration has surpassed theirs. Keep your vision quiet until it's ready. The next moves of your life must be executed in silence. When your results appear, let them speak for themselves. That's how billionaires move, in mystery. They understand that power grows in stillness. So listen carefully. Over the coming weeks, you will experience a powerful shift. The energy that once resisted you will begin to serve you. Delays will turn into opportunities. People who ignored you will seek you out. The same doors that refused to open will now swing wide. But it will all begin with one thing: your energy. Protect it, nurture it, trust it. You're not just building wealth. You're building an empire that carries your spirit through time. The universe doesn't invest this much effort into ordinary souls. You are not ordinary. You are chosen, refined, and rising. And as everything begins to unfold, remember, when it feels too quiet, that's when miracles are closest. When it feels too hard, that's when breakthrough is nearest. And when you least expect it, when you're almost ready to give up, that's when the universe will whisper the words you've been waiting your whole life to hear. It's time. Capricorn, listen to me closely, because what I'm about to reveal isn't just another random prediction. It's the missing piece to your destiny. You've felt it lately, haven't you? That invisible pressure building up inside you. The late-night thoughts that say, something big is coming. You're not imagining it. You're not overthinking. You're being prepared. Your energy is shifting from survival to sovereignty. You are walking straight into your billionaire timeline. But before I tell you how it unfolds, I need you to do one thing right now. Hit that subscribe button, tap the like, and comment, "I claim it," below. Because when you take that action, you send a message to the universe saying, "I am ready." And once you declare readiness, the gates begin to open. You see, Capricorn, your life has never been ordinary. You were born under a sign that carries the weight of time itself. You build, you break, you rebuild again. You've had to carry responsibilities that weren't yours. You've watched people betray your loyalty, yet you still moved with dignity. But here's the part that nobody tells you: the very pain you've endured was currency. Every sleepless night, every tear, every rejection, they were not punishments, they were transactions. The universe was investing in your resilience because it knew one day you would need to sit on a throne built not by luck, but by grit. Think about how many times you've started from nothing: the job that didn't pay you enough, the relationship that drained you, the dream that everyone laughed at. Yet somehow, even when you didn't know how, you found a way. That's because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of discipline, karma, and reward. Saturn never gives without testing, but once you pass the test, it overpays in abundance. And Capricorn, your payback season is arriving in full. Let me tell you something strange. In every billionaire's story, there's a hidden Capricorn energy somewhere, even if they're not Capricorn by birth. That energy of structure, consistency, and control over chaos. Look at Jeff Bezos. Before Amazon became the empire it is, he was driving packages himself, handwriting labels in a garage. People mocked him, said it would never work. But that's the Capricorn trait, to build empires brick by brick while the world sleeps. The reason you relate to stories like that is because your soul carries the same vibration. You see, your dreams are not random. They are memories of what your higher self has already achieved in another dimension, now manifesting into reality through your persistence. But the strange thing is, right before a Capricorn's breakthrough, their world falls apart. It's a spiritual law. Just before elevation comes chaos. You may have felt it: people distancing from you, opportunities slipping, finances slowing. But in truth, the universe is creating room. You can't step into your billionaire destiny while holding on to scarcity energy. That's why the things you thought you lost were never meant to go where you're going. Let me tell you a story. It's about a man named Howard Schultz, the visionary behind Starbucks. He wasn't born rich. In fact, his father was a truck driver who got injured and couldn't work. Howard watched his family struggle and promised himself he'd change his story. When he discovered a small coffee shop called Starbucks, he saw something no one else saw: potential. He tried to convince investors, but they all rejected him. Most people would have given up, but not Howard. He believed in his vision so fiercely that he went door to door until someone said yes. Today, that single belief turned into a multi-billion-dollar empire. Why am I telling you this? Because that's Capricorn energy in motion, faith disguised as hard work. You may not see your success right now, but it's already growing underground like a seed. When a seed is buried, it's not dead, it's preparing to rise. Your current silence, your current struggle, your current isolation, it's not the end, it's incubation. And you know what's fascinating? Every great story, biblical, historical, or modern, follows this same cycle: hardship before harvest. Look at Joseph in the Bible. His brothers sold him out of jealousy, threw him into a pit, and he ended up in prison. Yet every betrayal was a bridge to his throne. When famine struck, the same brothers who abandoned him had to bow before him for help. That's the Capricorn prophecy: to be underestimated before being celebrated. To be ignored before being needed. Now, some of you watching this might have noticed strange signs lately. You've been waking up at odd hours, around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. You felt an unexplained pull toward your purpose, even though you can't explain it to anyone. You've been losing interest in things you once enjoyed. These are signs that your old frequency is dying off. You're stepping into a higher dimension of wealth consciousness. The discomfort you feel is your soul outgrowing limitation. And let me say this clearly: not everyone around you can come along. There are people who love you, yes, but they love the version of you that struggles. They fear the version of you that thrives, because your success reminds them of their stagnation. You'll have to make peace with walking alone for a while, but trust me, solitude is the incubator of greatness. Every billionaire spends a season misunderstood. There's a story about Oprah Winfrey that perfectly mirrors this. She was fired from her first TV job because they said she was unfit for television. Imagine that, the same woman who would one day own her own network. But instead of letting rejection define her, she let it refine her. She transformed pain into power and power into purpose. That's the Capricorn blueprint. Turn the wound into wisdom, the rejection into redirection. You see, the universe has a way of testing your worth before handing you wealth. It wants to know if you can stay calm when things don't make sense. Because money amplifies energy. If you're bitter, money will amplify bitterness. If you're wise, money will amplify wisdom. That's why you had to go through what you went through to refine your spirit. Some of you have noticed how lately you can't tolerate negativity anymore. People's energy drains you faster. You crave peace, simplicity, silence. That's because you're preparing for a life where chaos can't follow you. Billionaire energy doesn't chase validation, it attracts alignment. The quieter you become, the louder your manifestation gets. Let me remind you of something from history, the story of Cornelius Vanderbilt. He started as a poor boatman earning a few dollars a week, but he had one thing others didn't: relentless vision. He saved every cent, reinvested it, and eventually controlled America's railroads. People called him ruthless, but he was just determined. The same stubbornness that people once mocked became the force that built his legacy. That's Capricorn energy, turning criticism into fuel. But here's the mystery most people don't understand. The universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you who you are. So when you start acting, thinking, and believing like the billionaire version of yourself, the outer world begins to rearrange to match that inner identity. It's not luck, it's alignment. That's why when you speak affirmations, when you comment, "I receive it" below, you're not just writing words, you're declaring identity. Capricorn, the reason your journey has been so hard is because your blessings are so heavy. You weren't chosen for mediocrity, you were chosen for mastery. But the climb to the top of the mountain is steep. That's why you've been isolated. That's why nothing came easy. Because the universe knew if it gave it to you too soon, you'd lose it. But now you've matured, you've learned patience, you've learned silence. You've learned to create, even when no one claps. And do you know what happens when a Capricorn reaches this level? The universe begins to conspire in their favor. Doors start opening without knocking. Money starts flowing from unexpected sources. People start mentioning your name in rooms you've never been in. You start to notice divine coincidences, meeting the right person at the right time, getting a sudden opportunity that feels too precise to be random. That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. Let me share one last story with you, the story of Colonel Sanders. He was 65 when he got his big break. Before that, he faced over 1,000 rejections trying to sell his fried chicken recipe. 1,000 doors closed, but he only needed one to open. When it finally did, Kentucky Fried Chicken was born, and his face became a global symbol of success. Imagine if he had given up after the 999th rejection. That's the Capricorn lesson. Persistence outlasts resistance. So if you've been feeling tired lately, unsure if your work is paying off, trust this: your consistency is about to compound. The same energy that once drained you is about to reward you. The same people who doubted you will soon be saying, "I always knew you'd make it." But deep down you'll smile, not out of pride, but out of peace, because you'll know it wasn't luck, it was divine timing. Capricorn, your billionaire season won't announce itself with fireworks. It'll arrive subtly: a phone call, a meeting, a decision that changes everything. That's how divine breakthroughs come, quietly yet permanently. You won't even need to chase it, it will find you. But you must stay ready, keep your space clean, keep your mind disciplined, keep speaking your affirmations daily, because wealth responds to clarity. So right now, say it out loud: I am ready, I am aligned, I am wealthy. Comment it below. Declare it so the universe can hear your conviction. And remember, you were never late, you were being refined. Your blessings were building interest. And now, the time has come for payout. But there's something else unfolding, something deeper, something that explains why you've been sensing a massive energetic shift lately.